Marvin Gaye recorded Sexual Healing while hiding out in Belgium, trying to outrun his own demons. 11 months later, his father shot him twice in the chest. Otis Redding laid down vocals for Dock of the Bay on a Thursday. By Sunday, he was dead. And Donny Hathaway? He finished a love song called You Are My Heaven hours before he fell from a 15th floor window. Ten R&B legends, 10 final recordings, and every single one of them walked into that studio not knowing they'd never walk out the same. You've heard these songs 1,000 times, but you don't know these stories. Not really. Let's start with number 10. Number 10, Jackie Wilson, Lonely Teardrops, 1975. Here's what most people don't know about Jackie Wilson's final moment on stage. September 29th, 1975, the Latin Casino in New Jersey, Dick Clark's Oldies Review. Jackie's performing his signature hit, Lonely Teardrops, and he gets to the line, "My heart is crying, crying." That's when his actual heart gave out. He collapsed mid-lyric, fell face first onto the stage, and the man they called Mr. Excitement, the guy who influenced everyone from James Brown to Michael Jackson, would never speak again. Here's the part that still gets me. Cornell Gunter from the Coasters was the first one to reach him. Started giving mouth to mouth, probably saved his life, but the damage was already done. Jackie hit his head so hard on that stage that the brain damage was permanent. And if you've ever watched someone you love fade away slowly, you know there's a different kind of grief when they're still breathing but already gone. Jackie Wilson spent the next 8 years in a coma. 8 years. The industry forgot him. He died in 1984, owing money to the IRS, buried in an unmarked grave. The last song he ever sang, "My Heart is Crying."
Just say you will. Say you.
Number 9, Tammi Terrell, You're All I Need to Get By, 1968. You've heard Ain't No Mountain High Enough. But here's what you might not know. Tammi Terrell recorded some of her biggest hits after doctors told her she was dying. October 14th, 1967. She's on stage with Marvin Gaye at a college in Virginia singing Your Precious Love. And she collapses, falls right into Marvin's arms. The headache she'd been ignoring since childhood, a malignant brain tumor. But here's where Tammi Terrell proves who she really was. After her first brain surgery in January 1968, she went back into the studio, couldn't tour anymore, could barely stand. But she recorded You're All I Need to Get By and Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, both of which went number 1 on the R&B charts. And if you've ever had to keep going when your body was telling you to stop, you know what that takes. By 1970, Tammi was blind, wheelchair-bound, weighed 93 pounds.
Always there in time of need.
She died on March 16th, a month before her 25th birthday. 8 brain surgeries, none of them worked. Marvin Gaye gave the eulogy. And here's what stays with me.
You're all I need.
Her mother was so angry at Motown for how they treated her daughter that she banned everyone from the label from attending the funeral, everyone except Marvin.
In you I found strength where I was torn down. Don't
Real talk, only 9% of you watching this are actually subscribed. That hurts a little, not gonna lie. We spend hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life because this music deserves to be remembered. And you're here because you care about that too. So if these videos mean something to you, if you've ever said, damn, I didn't know that, or felt something while watching, just hit subscribe. It's free, takes 2 seconds, and it tells YouTube to show this to more people who love this music like we do. Let's build this together. All right, back to the story. Number 8, Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, 1967.
Dock of the bay, wasting time.
Otis Redding recorded Dock of the Bay 3 days before he died, and the song almost never got released.
Watching the tide roll away.
Here's the story. Summer of 1967. Otis is staying on a houseboat in Sausalito, California, just watching the ships come in and roll away. He scribbles down some lyrics on napkins and hotel paper, takes them back to Memphis, and in November, he and Steve Cropper finished the track at Stax.
In Georgia, headed for the Frisco.
But here's what's wild. The executives didn't get it. One of them heard it being recorded and said, I don't know if we can ever release this song. It didn't sound like R&B, didn't sound like rock, didn't sound like anything Otis had done before.
Remains the same. I can't do what 10 people.
December 10th, 1967. Otis and most of his band die when their plane crashes into Lake Monona in Wisconsin. He was 26.
I left my home.
And here's the detail that haunts me. That whistling at the end of the song, that was supposed to be a placeholder. Otis was going to record a final verse, never got the chance.
Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Steve Cropper got the call the day after the crash. They said, get that thing finished and get it to us. He hadn't even found Otis's body yet, but he went back into the studio because music was the only thing that kept him going.
Just to make this dock my home. Now I'm
Dock of the Bay became the first posthumous #1 single in chart history. Otis never knew it would be his biggest hit.
dock of the bay, wasting time.
Number 7, Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come, 1964.
Oh, yes it will.
Sam Cooke wrote A Change Is Gonna Come in 1963, and he almost never performed it. Here's why.
Oh, a change gonna come.
When he first played it for his protege, Bobby Womack, Bobby said, "It sounds like death." Sam's response, "Man, that's kind of how it sounds to me. That's why I'm never going to play it in public."
But
He only performed it once. February 7th, 1964, The Tonight Show, and then he put it away.
I think I'm able to carry on.
The song was about everything. The civil rights movement, getting turned away from a whites-only motel in Louisiana, losing his 18-month-old son to drowning. But here's what gets me.
I go to the movie and I go.
The line, "It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky." That's not just poetry. That's a man wrestling with his own mortality.
Oh, a change gonna come.
December 11th, 1964. Sam Cooke is shot and killed at a Los Angeles motel under circumstances that are still disputed to this day.
And I say, brother, help me please.
He was 33. 11 days later, A Change Is Gonna Come was released as a single. The civil rights movement adopted it immediately. And the song Sam was afraid to sing became the anthem for a generation. You know what's strange? He knew. Something in him knew.
Oh, a change gonna come.
Number 6, Minnie Riperton, Memory Lane, 1979.
Love beyond compare. Look at there, look at there.
Minnie Riperton recorded her final album while dying of cancer, and she never hid from it.
The past, now I'm slipping fast. Oh.
January 1976, she's diagnosed with breast cancer, undergoes a radical mastectomy. Doctors give her 6 months to live. But here's what Minnie did. She kept recording, kept touring, became a spokesperson for the American Cancer Society. And in 1978, President Jimmy Carter presented her with a Courage Award at the White House.
This feeling starts.
By early 1979, the cancer had spread so badly that her right arm was paralyzed. If you watch her final TV appearances, and some of y'all have seen them, her arm is frozen in place while she's singing. But she's still hitting those whistle notes, still reaching 5 octaves. The music video for Memory Lane was filmed on May 25th, 1979, a little over a month before she died.
It's still my foolish heart.
And here's what breaks me. Near the end, when she performed Lovin' You in concert, she changed the ending. Instead of singing Maya, 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 her daughter's name, she started singing Maya, Maya, Ringo, Maya. Ringo was her son.
Thought it was over. Here I go again.
She was saying goodbye to her children through the only language she had left. Minnie Riperton died on July 12, 1979. She was 31, and she passed away in her husband's arms, listening to a recording Stevie Wonder had made just for her.
Made me laugh. It took me way back.
Here's where these stories take a turn. The next 5 artists we're about to talk about, every single one of them recorded songs that seemed to predict what was coming. Whether it was the lyrics, the circumstances, or just the timing. These final recordings carry a weight that's hard to explain. And real quick, if you're the type of person who watches videos like this all the way through, you're exactly who we made the R&B vinyl membership for. Early access to new videos, exclusive deep dives we don't put on the main channel, and a community of people who actually care about this music. Links in the description if that's you. Number 5, Donny Hathaway, You're My Heaven, 1979. Donny Hathaway's final recording was a love song called You Are My Heaven, and he recorded it hours before he died. January 13th, 1979. Donny's at the studio with Roberta Flack, working on their second duet album. They'd already had hits with Where's the Love and The Closer I Get to You. Things seem to be looking up. But here's what the public didn't know. Donny had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia years earlier. He was supposed to take 14 different medications twice a day. When he felt better, he'd stop taking them, and the episodes would come back. During that final session, something shifted. The producers noticed Donny acting irrationally, displaying what they called delusional behavior. They sent him home early. Hours later, Donny Hathaway's body was found on the sidewalk outside the Essex House Hotel in New York.
If someone tries to tell you that I do not love you.
He'd fallen from his 15th floor window. The glass had been neatly removed. No signs of struggle. He was 33. His family still debates whether it was suicide or an accident. What's not debatable is this, but we lost one of the most gifted voices in soul music that night, and his last recording, a song about heaven. Roberta Flack finished the album without him. You Are My Heaven was included, And every time it plays, you can hear two voices, one still here, one already gone. Number 4, Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing, 1982. Marvin Gaye's final studio album was recorded while he was hiding from everyone, including himself. By 1981, Marvin was broke, paranoid, and addicted to cocaine. He'd left Motown, left America, ended up in Austin, Belgium, staying with a concert promoter who was trying to help him get clean.
The waves are rising and rising, and when I get that.
And here's the thing about Midnight Love. It was supposed to be his comeback, and it was.
Sexual healing is something that's good for.
Sexual Healing went to number 3 on the pop charts, won him his first and only Grammy. People thought Marvin was back, but listen to the album again. Really listen. There's something underneath all that sensuality, a darkness, a man running from something he couldn't escape.
Sexual healing, baby, is good for me.
After the album's success, Marvin went on tour, his final tour, but those close to him said he wasn't the same. The drugs were back. The paranoia was worse.
Healing is good for me.
And in early 1984, he moved back in with his parents in Los Angeles. April 1st, 1984, the day before his 45th birthday. Marvin and his father got into an argument. His father shot him twice.
And my emotional stability is.
Marvin Gaye died in the same house where he grew up, and here's what haunts people who knew him. In his final months, Marvin talked constantly about death, about wanting it to end.
Healing, baby, it's good for me.
His brother Frankie said that as Marvin lay dying in his arms, he whispered, "I got what I wanted. I couldn't do it myself, so I made him do it."
I need some loving.
Sexual Healing was about salvation, but some wounds don't heal.
I can get on the telephone and call you up.
Number 3, Phyllis Hyman, I Refuse to Be Lonely, 1995. Phyllis Hyman's final album was called I Refuse to Be Lonely, and here's what makes that title unbearable. She took her own life the day it was supposed to be celebrated. June 30th, 1995. Phyllis was scheduled to perform at the Apollo Theater that night. Her new album was out. Critics were calling it some of her best work. After years of being underrated, underappreciated, and underpromoted by her labels, it seemed like things might finally turn around. But Phyllis had been fighting depression for years. She'd been open about it in interviews, the loneliness, the feeling that the industry had never given her what she deserved. And on the afternoon of what should have been her triumphant return, she overdosed on pills in her New York apartment.
Tell me, what do I need to do?
She was 45. On the show at the Apollo was turned into a memorial. And the album she left behind, it's devastating to listen to now. Every song feels like a message.
Come on, talk to me.
I Refuse to Be Lonely, title track. Sounds like a woman fighting to convince herself of something she couldn't quite believe. And if you've ever known someone who seemed strong on the outside but was struggling on the inside, you know how much pain can hide behind a smile.
Can we find a way to put the past up?
Phyllis Hyman had one of the greatest voices in R&B history, and the industry let her slip away.
All I knew.
Number 2, Teddy Pendergrass, 9 times out of 10, 1982.
Time goes by since the day I met
Teddy Pendergrass recorded 9 times out of 10 just weeks before the car accident that would change everything. By early 1982, Teddy was arguably the biggest male R&B artist in the world. 5 consecutive platinum albums, a record at the time. The first black male singer to achieve that. Women threw teddy bears and underwear on stage at his ladies only concerts. He was called the Black Elvis. March 18th, 1982, Lincoln Drive in Philadelphia, 1:30 in the morning. Teddy's driving his brand new Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit when he loses control. The car hits a guardrail, crosses into oncoming traffic, and slams into 2 trees. His head hits the roof twice. The second impact breaks his neck. He was trapped in that wreckage for 45 minutes when they finally pulled him out. And Teddy Pendergrass would never walk again. But here's what separates this story from the others. Teddy didn't die. He came back. 3 years later, he performed at Live Aid in front of 100,000 people from his wheelchair. And in 1988, he had another #1 R&B hit with Joy. The voice wasn't the same, the power was diminished, but he kept going for another 25 years. And when he finally passed in 2010, it wasn't from the accident, it was from colon cancer.
I can't forget you. You're always on my...
9 times out of 10 was his last recording as the Teddy Pendergrass the world knew. Everything after was a different man, still talented, still determined, but forever changed.
9 times out of 10, I'm falling in love.
#1, Donny Hathaway. The weight of final songs. Wait, I know what you're thinking. We already covered Donny, but here's why he deserves this spot. Every artist on this list left us with a final recording, but Donny Hathaway's story captures something that connects all of them. He was a genius who couldn't outrun his own mind. He recorded songs that still define what soul music can be. A Song for You, The Ghetto, This Christmas. Artists from Luther Vandross to Alicia Keys to Amy Winehouse have all said he was the standard. But here's the thing about brilliance and pain. They often travel together. Donny heard music in ways most people can't. He also heard things that weren't there. And on that January night in 1979, something finally broke. His daughter, Lala Hathaway, grew up to be a Grammy-winning singer herself.
If someone tries to tell you that I do not love you,
She carries his voice forward. And every time she performs his songs, there's a conversation happening between generations, between the father who left too soon and the daughter who refused to let him be forgotten. That's what all these final recordings really are. They're conversations we're still having with Sam, with Marvin, with Tammi and Otis and Jackie and Minnie. The songs outlive the singers, and as long as we keep playing them, they never really leave.
got you here, right by my side.